Hey everyone, this is Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission, and I have a regular Goodwill thrift haul for you guys today. I am a 14-year online reseller. I like to tell people I was reselling before it was cool because we know that reselling and just thrifting in general, even if you're not a reseller, has gotten really popular and trendy in the last couple years. For me as a reseller, it at times has become more difficult. However, I do think my experience over the years, there's been other times where the market has gotten really flooded with resellers, and you just kind of roll with the punches and go on the reseller roller coaster that I mention here on my channel quite often. So thank you guys for being here. So I wanted this basket. It's a laundry basket. And so they threw all the stuff in my laundry basket, and as opposed to like a bag or something. So that's why I have this situated here. I looked at a couple of the items on top, and I do have some really solid sales in here that I'm super excited about. Not sales, items that I picked up that will hopefully become sales. And I like to do little batches like this. I get to go thrifting usually only once a week. Sometimes I will put like multiple locations in that one trip, but since I'm in a location where it usually takes me kind of a while to get to where I'm going, I don't get to go as often as I would like. How often do you guys go? I'd love to know, because the thrifting is the fun part, right? That's the part I get really excited about, is going out to find new things. But unfortunately, I must be hot today. I'm looking a little red. Unfortunately, I usually only get to go once a week, but that's okay, because I keep things rolling on just that. If you don't know, I do this part-time, so it's not my full-time thing. I have another part-time gig that I do, and I put those two together to make a full-time job and hopefully a full-time income in order to help support my family and bring in money to my family. So you guys check in, let me know how you guys are doing. I'm going to pull out some items here, and we're going to see what I have. And you know what? I was going to show these just for fun. These were on the top of the bin. I don't do a lot with hard goods. I do go through this Goodwill Goodwill in the hard goods, and I really want to do more in hard goods. I really do. But I don't. I get real nervous. And I second guess everything. So I don't get to pick up a whole lot there. I want to. I'm going to keep, maybe I should make it a goal every time I go out sourcing to pick up one hard goods item to try out and to see. But these I get for my sons. I have 2 boys, and they love cards. Now, these aren't as exciting because these are like 90s cards. 1991 Ernie Mills. Have no idea who that is, but every once in a while I get lucky at my regular Goodwill, and they'll just throw a bunch of cards in a bag, and then I put these, so I got 2, I have 2 boys, and I put them behind my back, and I say, all right, left or right, 1 or 2, and I just do this little thing, and then at some point one of them wins one of them, and the other one gets the other. Just kind of fun. 99 cents a piece. So does anybody have any kids? Or my husband likes collecting cards. I can't even lie. Does anybody have any family members who like collecting cards? It's just a fun way for me to, my boys are just turning teens, and what I've learned is that you have to kind of adapt, because I want to be able to interact with them in a way that makes sense. So they love baseball cards right now, so if I can find them baseball cards and something they can look through and we can talk about and have fun, that is a win. All right, let's get to the good stuff. This I found at a regular Goodwill. This is $6.99. There, I was trying to show you the tag here. However, this still has the button bag connected to it. So I'm going to say new without tags. Its logo, Lori Goldstein, which you guys know is a brand that I do love to pick up. Typically, I only pick up this brand in plus size. I normally don't do a whole lot in smaller sizes. However, this is a dress, It was only $6.99. It's new without tags, and I loved the style. So you guys know that I kind of put all those things together to stack the reasons why I pick my items up, and hopefully the more you stack, the better chance you have of it selling, right? So this to me is, it's not necessarily patchwork, but it definitely has like a patchwork vibe to it. This is boho, prairie, and cottagecore to me. New with tags. Look at this, these prints. I just love this piece. I think between all of those reasons that I just stated, and especially also adding the cottagecore, the prairie, this is almost art to wear-y to me, bohemian. So many different style reasons on top of the brand, the new without tags. This is a $30 sale, which is great. Where am I going to put these? I'll put them right over there. Now this is a brand I don't find a whole lot of, and I was kind of excited to find it. It's Flint and Tinder. If you don't know that brand, you should. If you are new to my channel, I do all kinds of different pickups. So plus size and bigger sizes have been my bread and butter for a decade. Also, obviously, I'm always looking for the good brands. Everyone wants to find the good brands. And then I also do some style-based pickups. So you could always get a mix of items in my hauls. Flint and Tinder is a great brand you want to look out for. This was $4.99. It does have kind of like a fun, like a speckled print. It feels like a linen, but I'm not sure if it is. It's cotton. But the brand itself, the soles on this, like a men's short sleeve button-up shirt, were in the $25 to $30 range. And I paid $4.99 for this. And this is actually the older Goodwill tag. My Goodwill now has fancier tags. So this was sitting in there and no one bought it. So I don't know. It's a size large, which is an okay size as well. I mean, that's a good size for men. So I'm fine with that. What do we have here? Oh, it's another logo. Like I said, I normally do more of logo Lori Goldstein in the plus sizes. This is only $4.99. I do love like this tie-dye. That's a $20 to $25 sale for me. I've talked about Lori Goldstein on my page a lot. In fact, I find it a lot lately, so I do think I'll be slowing down on it a little bit. But stack your reasons. You want a plus size. Ideally, you want something plus size or a unique or colorful print, maybe a tunic or a dress, buttons down the front, long sleeves, you know, kind of stack those items. Don't just pick up like a plain t-shirt because that's not going to make you much money. Knox Rose, this is it's $3.99. Knox Rose is just like a bread and butter, super cute. This is not going to make you $1 million. So if someone's asking $10 for a Knox Rose, don't pick it up. But they do really have some cute boho, Aztec, country, cowgirl, hippie, bohemian styles. Usually all of their items have this type of design, like a bohemian type of style. Those will go in the $15, $20 range pretty quickly for you if you make sure you have something that has some of those nice details on them. This is a brand I have been flipping for probably 10 years. And I still do okay with it. It's Quacker Factory. I usually only pick up plus size, and I'm looking for items that have something fun to them. Rhinestones, embroidery, some kind of cool graphic print. This is a plus size 3X. See all that rhinestone? Double pocket. Here's the kicker. The cross on the back. This gives me Y2K vibes, and honestly, the tag looks Y2K for me. Honestly, I'll have to kind of look it up. But Quacker Factory is a brand to keep an eye out for. Look for plus size and something that has something fun going on, and you'll get $20 to $25. I'm gonna list this in $29. The cross on, if it didn't have the cross on the back, it would be more like, I'd probably price at 25-ish. But this cross, just because it gives you like rocker, motorcycle, right? Like all those different even maybe a cowgirl vibe to it. And that's somewhat of what you will get from Quacker Factory. They have all kinds of fun things. I sell holiday things from them. You know, you're, again, not $1 million item. However, you'll get between $20 and $30 for most of the Quacker Factory items that are plus size or are substantial, have something going on. Now, I should make that noise I always do. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I got so lucky with the Eileen Fisher today. This day. Eileen Fisher, she's a solid, most of the time like a bread and butter sale for me. This, so soft. Silk and cotton. Like this feels like butter. This is so nice. This is a very oversized small, and it is more of a basic piece. Keywords I'll use for this are oversized and boxy. Look at, like, nothing gets more boxy than this. Do you see this? And that is a style that people are looking for. So oversized, boxy. The silk will elevate this as well. This is probably going to be a $25 piece. I paid $5.99. The silk though is pretty good. So it's going to be hard to find a stock photo on that though, because it's so plain. It's just like an oversized tee, but it's a great basic. Other keywords sometimes I use in items like that where there's not a whole lot going on are like closet staple. So like something everyone has in their closet. Like everyone needs their favorite black tank top, right? Closet staple. And that I would say would be one of the things that I would put in there. Now this is a style-based pickup, Abercrombie and Fitch. It's the muscle tee with the moose. This is made in Vietnam, so I do believe this is vintage. It's $5.99. It's the muscle tee with the moose, and it has to be vintage or Y2K. That will get this as a style-based piece for about $20 to $25. And it's a muscle tee at XXL, which is actually kind of nice because a muscle shirt from 25 years ago and an XXL is not the same size. So this might fit someone who's like a large or extra large now, just because sizing has changed so much in that time period. Yeah, oh, and I remember this piece. I couldn't believe this. So this is another Eileen Fisher, and this one had been sitting there because this is the old tag. So I'm going to show you this one. I was going to show you. This is how they're tagging their things now. This is how it used to be. So this means to me that this was sitting in the store for who knows how long, couple weeks. No one wanted this Eileen Fisher. This also feels like silk to me. 100% silk, size large, beautiful steel blue color tank top. Now again, this isn't super substantial, but you're looking at about $25 here, because specifically because of the 100% silk. Again, I would go closet staple on this, maybe even quiet luxury. Capsule wardrobe. Capsule wardrobe is like if you had 10 pieces that you put into a capsule, right? And then you can just bundle those pieces together, mix match all the time, and just always have an outfit to wear. So that could possibly be applicable with that. Again, another Eileen. I can't believe I found all these Eileens. This is also an older tag for this Goodwill. So I don't know. Why were all these just sitting around? I have no idea. Usually Eileen Fisher for most resellers, $4.99. I don't know. It would be a pickup. So this is a fun sequin. This is like a going out. This is maybe under a blazer for like work, executive. Yeah, going out to dinner. So that's a little bit bolder of a piece. Oh, this is 100% merino wool. And then you have the sequin accents. Very nice. So several of these Eileen Fisher pieces had silk, and now this one has merino wool for $4.99. Eileen Fisher, and this was sitting around for weeks with the older tag. So I don't know what happened there, but I'm thankful I found it. Another $25, $30 piece. Very nice. I'm gonna put this one down because I'm gonna get tired. It's another Eileen Fisher. I guess maybe that should be the title of this video is that you, Eileen? Is that you, Eileen? Because I'm always happy to find you. Eileen Fisher. So she does have some different tags. This looks like more of a tagless piece, but this is like, I'm going to guess this is a shirt dress by the length. Shirt dress, gray, size large. It does have pockets, so it's a shirt dress. Let's see what the content on this one is. Organic cotton and hemp. Also a great material. I don't find a whole lot of hemp pieces, to be honest with you. So this is another fantastic piece. I thought there was a, oh, here's the receipt. I spent $204.53. This is a location that doesn't do half off tags or any type of discount, but they do have a points system. So my total was $198. So 200 bucks. Each one of these Eileens, I'm going to get at least $25 for, and I have 4 of them. So I'm up to $100 at minimum. I think, honestly, that's a little bit on the low side. But if you have watched my videos before, I try to be as realistic and honest as possible. Like, I don't tell people it's a $100 sale unless I really feel like it's going to be $100. Like, I'm not trying to oversell anything. I'm not trying to mislead anybody. Those Eileen items, the tanks, the silk tank and stuff, that's a $20, $25 all day, in my opinion. And this is now a shirt dress with organic cotton and hemp. I'm going to guess this might be a $30 to $40 sale. It is a little bit more neutral because it's just a heather gray. However, with the material content, the size is a large, Eileen Fisher, pockets, all those things, my guess is I'm going to be listing that around $39 unless comps say otherwise. So I'm already at, I would say, pretty easily $100 to $125 with those 4 pieces, not including all the other things I've already talked to you guys about. So, and I already have like 8 other items sitting there. So very nice. Now this is a brand I don't find a whole lot, but I do pretty well with. If you can see this little tiny tag, it says, and I don't even know how to say it, Marithé, François, I shouldn't even try, Girbaud, M-A-R-I-T-H-E, Marithé. Here, this one says it's better. Here's the back. Marithé, François, Girbaud. What you want to be looking for these are their baggy pieces. This is like a Y2K baggy cargo short. And that is very on trend, and this brand does very well. See the cargo pockets? They're baggier, they're loose fit. No skinny here, I can tell you that. But this brand does elevate the item. So if you can find a vintage Y2K cargo short, it could be possibly a pickup, baggy style, loose fit. But especially in this brand, you're looking at $30 to $40 in this brand. It's a size 42. And I paid $6.99. My guess again is that I'm going to be listing this around $39 plus shipping. There's another logo. See, this thing is all logoed out. It's kind of hard to see, but loose fit, baggy, cargo, short for men. I mean, I guess a woman can wear it. I don't care. But that's typically the style. Now this I did pay up a little bit more for. Polo by Ralph Lauren. That's a little bit of their older tag. That's like their Y2K-ish, their 2000s tag. 100% cotton, size XXL. Very pretty, like really nice, handsome blue, like a cobalt blue quarter zip with the red pony there. These are going in the $30 range. Now, I am a little bit off season right now, so some of my items that I'm listing that seem to be more of a fall item, I am actually pricing up a little bit because my Nifty app goes in and renews these items all the time. And when they do that, and I set the parameters of when they reset it, but they lower the cost by 5% every time I relist the item in order to get the item to move and maybe get some new eyes on it. So right now with some of my wool pieces, my sweaters, you know, I should probably have a bin where I just throw all those items, like sweaters and heavier type of items. But I'm just listing them like $5-10 more than I typically would because they might still sit. I mean, it makes sense that a heavier quarter zip sweater is going to sit for a few months in the middle of the summer. You know what I mean? So I'm just pricing it up a little bit. I think I should get around $30 for this quarter zip. So I'm going to list at around $39 to allow for some time that it's out of season. And if I get lucky and someone sees that value, perfect. This type of item at Polo Ralph Lauren quarter zip, that's an $80 to $100 sweater, right? So really, even if I sold it at $35 right now, it's still a good value for my customer. However, it's just out of season and not everyone's looking for this right now. So that's how I'm handling some of my out of season items. And especially with my awesome, you know, the nifty tool that I use that helps me relist things and lower the prices on them. I just know how that process works at this point. And, you know, in 3 months, you know, at 5%, if it reduces at 5%, you know, I'll be more in the $35 range. And sadly, you know, seasons change early. So people start looking for their fall items like mid to late summer, because they've already bought all the summer things they need. They don't need to buy any more summer things typically, unless they're going on a trip or like have something fancy going on. But now this is a little bit different of a pickup for me, only that it's not a brand that is super, you know, popular or big, but it is somewhat of a style-based piece. We're going into wedding season where you're going to be like a guest to a wedding. And I just thought this was so pretty. The brand is Nina Leonard and it's an 18W, which is a 1X, which is a great size. It was $6.99. I feel like I can get $25 for this dress. And so that was like on the cusp of whether or not I was willing to pay up for it. But I do feel like this is an event piece, a Mother's Day piece, you know, a bridal shower, a spring shower, a graduation dress. I'm going to use a lot of those words in it because this is totally something you would wear to any of those spring type of events and maybe put like a cardigan or a jean jacket over it. It's great for a mother. It does have a belt, which I thought was super cute. So not $1 million sale, but a very solid plus size dress that should accommodate a lot of different events that we're going to be going into and doing here soon. This is a style-based piece. The brand is not anything you need to memorize. Studio Works. Made in Vietnam is typically an indication that it could be a Y2K or a vintage piece. This is a velvet burnout. See how that looks there with the lace sleeve and a little bit of a flare. I love it. This is style based for me all day. The price was $4.99 and it's a size extra large. So this to me is goth, vampire, fairy, maybe favorite fairy goth, dark romantic. It's also just a cute piece. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I do think the style-based pieces sell regardless of the style words that you put in because it's just a cute piece. But if you have a certain style aesthetic, this would definitely be fairy goth. You know, even the vampire, you know, type. It's the black, the velvet burnout, the lace, the flare sleeve. You guys ever get tired of me saying all those things? Look, we're almost to the bottom already. So this will be a nice shorter thrift haul. I did just do one that was like an hour long. Woo! That was a long one. It was a bins haul. It was like 3 bags, but I needed to get through some items. So this is the brand Pole. This gives me, you know, I've sold actually a couple tops just like this. It has a waffle knit with the lace. This is Lag and Look. This is also neutral, maybe even cottagecore. Just a very nice, definitely boho. This is boho for sure, with the floral lace and then the waffle knit. This brand is kind of known for that. This was only $3.99. This is a $20 sale. It's at the bottom of this. One last thing here, and I know what these are, because you can feel it. These are so heavy. Duluth Trading. Duluth Trading is a solid bread and butter sale. You just have to be careful on what you're picking up. Usually their fire hose pants, or like certain types of pants, do better. This is a heavy duty, oh my gosh, they're so heavy, like khaki work pant. The size is 42-34, which is a great size because it's harder to find. They're like a duck canvas with the cargo pockets. A lot of times, really, the more pockets, the better in some of these pants. Oh, they're so heavy. Cargo pockets, you know, you have the butt pockets with a closure too, because that always elevates it. Because then you can put things in there, and this is like, oh my gosh, super sticky. When I looked up comps, I was actually surprised that they were only going for like $20 to $25. I think because of the size, that this is a heavier duck canvas type of material, with a lot of the pockets. You know, sometimes I tell you guys this with your solds, when you're looking through comps, you really have to make sure you're looking at an item that completely relates to your own item, and then use your best judgment, which I'm not perfect. Sometimes my judgment is flawed. Like, I should put a disclaimer in this. Like, I know what I'm doing pretty well, but I'm not perfect, okay? Like, sometimes I get it wrong. But, you know, when you're looking up your solds, if you look up just Duluth Trading pants, there's all kinds of different pants. So your solds could vary. You know, if you put in different types of things like heavy duty utility, cargo, maybe even the color khaki. This size is a 42 with a 34 inseam. All of those things could change the way that the solds look. Typically with Duluth Trading, like I said, I do better with like the fire hose type of pants, but these are heavy duty with all those different stackable things. It should elevate the sale more. I'm gonna put this at the $29 range. You know, at a $6.99 price point, it's not exactly where I'd love to be, but I'm hoping that they will flip quickly. The 34-inch inseam is harder to find. It's a tall inseam. You guys know I come from a Sasquatch family. And if my sons or any of my sisters, whoever ever listens to this, I don't mind being a Sasquatch, okay? I mean, people ask all the time. I always loved being tall. I'm shrinking now because I'm getting old. I always loved being tall. I don't mind my build. Honestly, I really don't. I'd like to lose like 50 pounds, but it doesn't bother me. I like being tall. My sons are already tall. You know, I have beautiful, tall nieces that should be models. You know, I really don't mind it. So it's not a negative thing for me. But it is a little bit harder to find. These longer inseams, it's really hard to find shoes in my size, or a 34-inch inseam for a woman. My nephew has a 36-inch inseam. He's 6'5". It's hard. So when you can find inseams like this, not only should it be a better sale because the inseam is harder to find, you're also helping people like me find quality items, which is not necessarily easy to find, because when you come from a big old family, that corn-fed family, or the cheese or something in Wisconsin, I'm not sure what it is, but something in the water. We grow big people out here, and it is harder to find those sizes. So honestly, I've been selling plus size, big and tall sizes, literally since the beginning of when I started reselling, because of that very reason. It's hard to find. It's hard to find those sizes. So keep that in mind when you're outsourcing. One, it could be a better sale because it's a larger size, but two, also you're helping you know, I always like helping people out. I love finding beautiful pieces because, you know, and offering it at a more affordable price because things are expensive. So if I can help close someone at 50% off, that it's a good day for me. And I love it. So now this is finally empty. A bright room. I can use this for all the clothes I need to get done cleaning and stuff. But I feel like that was a very solid short haul. Obviously a lot of really great brand names. I had 4 Eileen Fishers. I mean, that's insane. That never happens. I was very lucky, and all of them were very reasonably priced. And some of them were left behind still. So that just goes to show, like, you know, sometimes they overprice things, and then that's why they end up in the Goodwill bins. Sometimes you price them reasonably, and they still sit. Like, why was an Eileen Fisher sitting there for $4.99? You know, you just never know. Obviously, I had some other things, like my logo, Lori Goldstein. There was Polo Ralph Lauren. A couple style-based pickups there. So I'm very happy with all of these pieces, and I'm going to go start to get those listed like ASAP. So you guys check in. If you haven't subscribed and you're still here after all this time, consider hitting that subscribe button or commenting and liking for me. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys know that, and I hope I'll see you on the next one. Love you all so much. Bye.